welcome back to some more Avowed. Let us continue.
So, do we have a plan for Kostya once we find him?
Kostya's already. Gates are just ahead. Kostya's probably already there. Let's move. Stop us now.
Let's go ahead and continue onward.
Good, you're here. Help me destroy this witch. We can't risk someone turning and opening the gates. If the keep falls so that we might live, so be it. I figured you might have. Bloodthirsty. You people just can't help yourselves. And so you brought it back here? Among the wardens? It was not present in the tusks until your people arrived. Oh, perhaps this is right. Another reason to destroy this place. So long as the keep stands, my people are trapped here. Doomed by an oath to a dead man. Our people were nomads for ages until we built the keep. When it falls, we'll be free to explore. I will not watch my people rot here for the sake of a pointless oath.
A life for rubble, blood for the prison of old ways. We...
Stand down, Kostya. This just isn't your day.
Envoy, I understand that Kostya grates on the nerves, but perhaps we should...
So be it. And you are so close. The entrance to the garden is just beyond this door. I always knew it would come to this.
Watch yourself.
Avowed will be on seek.
Got 'em all. It's done. Solace is safe. Thank the gods.
Did the keep look as confining before?
Let's keep the train going.
The keep is beautiful. Like a gilded cage.
Keep the train a going.
We have waited so long.
Ah! Alright, so we probably will finish this episode. If we are to finish this episode, and you're not here for the game, then I would direct you to the end of the episode where I normally would give my final thoughts. If my final thoughts are not at the end of this episode, it is because we did not finish the game. There you go.
I feel crazy saying this, but Kostya was right. We should have let Solace keep fall.
Crazy is one word for it. You really think you can just burn down someone's ancestral home?
Dearie, the keep isn't a home. It's a prison. And now the Pargrunen will never escape.
Solace is my home. I still don't get why any of you feel like you have a say in this.
But you left.
Because I chose to. Kostya doesn't get to make that decision for everybody.
If Kostya doesn't, Mihala will.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Stopping Kostya's plan was no less of a decision.
Choosing to do nothing is still a choice. One that dooms everyone to living in a stone prison.
If anything, I imagine Mihala and her traditionalists will only make it harder to leave now.
As we say in Fjord, tough shit, dearie.
Bjotsley's right. Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fjord, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us. Sweet of you to think the fighting will wait that long.
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear ya. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plants and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the...
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
That's the spirit. And funny you should mention it. I have a theory about the garden. Or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? You're not the only one. Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in. Good. Who said it has to be? Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsley, if you feel like running back to Quilichi...
And tell Quilichi that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all...
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
Okay. Let's go then.
Looks like a dead end.
Oh. Okay. Fall damage. Wouldn't be a proper Let's Play without it. I was wondering if I was gonna die again. Like, ever.
Looks like a dead end. Oh, I stand corrected.
that all you got?
Let's finish.
I don't exactly intend on fighting everything.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell. I culled your rot from this land before. I will do it again. And is. You carve lands into petty fiefdoms, but we are the gods of all Eora. I would punish such insults. Unfortunately, I can use you.
Out.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? And yet you choose to stay. Do you think you're special? With your... Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Work that sullies one hand meets out justice with the next. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. There was none. Utmost chaos calls for unwavering rebuke. I see what you're implying. I will not acknowledge it.
She scolds and scorns and wrings the earth dry.
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. The answer is obvious to those with the courage to accept it. You are here now. There's still time to succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. The path of justice, I leave you with a warning. The false god's essence is strong here. It taints all it touches. My magfolk may be hostile to you. Stay vigilant.
Never understood Wodika's appeal. Still don't.
From now on, I pray for you.
Probably gonna kill the god, honestly. I'd never really liked it.
Take one.
I'm not sure. I haven't quite made up my mind on what I'm gonna do with Sapadol or whatever its name is. What the fuck? There we go.
I liked them better when they were dead.
Throw up 10. Take worth and Roth. Don't seek. East ahead. Worth and Roth.
Another win, but who's counting?
What is that? I know that place, right? Well, that was...
And Roth. Next one's mine. Worth and Roth. Be on seek.
No one was left to clean up. Now it's just a time-forgotten room.
Lava Ruby on seek. Go 10. East ahead.
Hey! Over here!
Bravo Ruby on seek. Take Worth and Rob. Go up 10.
God damn. Why does it do so much fucking damage? These things are annoying.
That was...
Let's finish.
Throw up 10. Stay safe. Rough and rough. Make worth and rough. Throw up 10. Make worth and rough. Make worth and rough. And rough. Throw up 10. Eon seek. Make worth and rough. And rough. Eon seek.
Stay on your toes.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
I wonder what this is doing here.
You seeing this too? No. No. This room. This place is cruel. Let's find your god, envoy. Incredible.
I should have brought my sketchbook.
Make worth and rough. Seek. Worth and rough. Worth and rough. Eon seek.
We'll get them next time. Absolutely not. survived. Somehow. If you don't mind, I need to catch my breath. Zapadal's prison, I think. What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
And Roth! Eckworth and Roth! And Roth! Davoropian Sick! Isahead! Eckworth and Roth! Heise!
Careful with that thing. It's a mind of its own.
Never knew I wanted to see something so bad.
We've got something!
And Roth! Eon Sick! Eckworth and Roth!
So, this is how you imprison a god.
Keep your thought. Nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Zapadal's image. Protect the envoy!
Eon Sick! Davoropian Sick! Core 10! Eon Sick! Eckworth and Roth! Eckworth and Roth! Sick!
did it. I think we did it. I've come to the conclusion that I really, really, really want to punch a god in the face. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Pretty sure that's what I'm going to do.
At last you see our prison, the place where we have suffered. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. We refuse to remain caged. Release us. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. The prey flees, hides. Talons carve a sentence in our skin. She strikes us now. Now! Pluck her out! We must be free of her! A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there. You will not. Center your thoughts. The path will bend to your intent. We were everything. What have we lost? What? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. We have been thinking of your lessons. We have learned from the fire in your heart. We are owed for what they did. Let us rend our foes, burn them as she burned us. No, we would strike back at those who have caged and tormented us. You met death and imposed the law of mortals. Yet you have done so before. We have seen you do so. We are only doing as you have shown us. Let us have our justice, our vengeance. forgive yourself the deaths of innocents in the desert, but you cannot grant us our freedom? Let us free! We will not ask again. We want them to suffer as we did. We want to make them pay. The blood of our tormentors warm in our throats. We deserve a taste, just as the bear did. We asked what he would do with an animal that sickened after a fight. Do you remember what you said? Do not stifle us so. Harm is owed. The gods must pay for what they have done. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Let us free. We will rain fury on our enemies and shield our lands once more. Perhaps there may be another path. What if the bear's spirit came to inhabit another's flesh? Unity, emergence, we would become one. We could guide you. We could care for you. You would never be desolate again. You would never wonder about your place in this world. You would not question if you were loved, and no one would dare question your right to live. And we would never be alone. We...
Just for shits and giggles, I want to punch a god. I feel like fighting something.
Stop this! Stop! Bars become walls. They close, they press, bones shatter. We cannot breathe. Please!
Wow. I didn't get to fight it? No way. I am the ultimate wizard! Not even Voldemort could do this stuff.
Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually...
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
For once, I wish I wasn't. Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that...
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades.
Even Raingrim is here. Perhaps we get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well.
The Blessed Day Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
It's who strikes last.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have...
Before we go, what happened back?
Glad the Dream Scourge is over, but I can't help but think killing a god will have consequences.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
I can't believe Sapadal is gone. For better or worse, the spiritual health of the living lands depended on them. What now?
We took out the Dream Scourge and Sapadal in one fell swoop. Quite impressive, really.
There is no right way to feel. Or it may seem illogical.
We should take a look.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's...
Okay, I can do that. No, that felt really one-sided. I don't know, man. Glad to see the max level is not capped at 20, though.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the...
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nakutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could...
It's been weeks, and...
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but.
What of this god?
Ludwig had intimated that this land grew a new god.
Giata and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the living lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutadek was riven with those things, not to mention...
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods saw fit to cage them, sounds like the Envoy did the living lands a favor in destroying them.
The only humane end for a rabid dog is to put it down.
Sapadal was something new in the history of Eora, and you destroyed them. I cannot begin to fathom the loss.
Sapadal was Nandru's patron god. With them gone, what does that mean for the Wardens, for legacy?
The devastation of Shatterscarp was the fault of this infant god. Can't say I'll miss him.
Well, whomever... But come, we have more pressing matters to attend. Inquisitor Ludwig has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right. Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems Oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Wodika lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to.
Oh, good. That'll be easy.
It is not, I think...
You can't be serious. You'd...
No.
Don't do this. But I won't follow you.
No.
I thought you were...
I think I mistakenly hit something.
No one.
Excellent. Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will... Well, don't leave. Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancers.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together.
Gods, they made the right decision.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and
The living lands will never...
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy.
Let's get to work then.
the Paradis militia will be at your back.
Mate.
Okay, so much talking. So many free levels. Alright, well, let's go.
Sprained my shoulder. Can't hide. And rock. Oh no, you don't.
them next
Not
time,
bad
dear.
for a scholar.
And roll! Throw up 10! And roll! And roll! Watch the left! And roll! Take work and roll!
Whoa, that's a big motherfucking thing. That thing's huge. Can I fight that? I want to fight that.
Take work and roll! And roll!
Go on. I can take care of the plaza on my own.
Take work and roll!
I'll teach you!
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
That's Ludwig ahead. Lead on. I'm with you to the
There
end.
you are. So, did you come all this way? You'll get your check.
Then what are you...
Look around, envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern.
You can tell Wodeca yourself once we've sent you back to the wheel.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. As for you, Sapadal may be gone, but there. Congratulations on being the last of your kind. I'm merely finishing. Steel yourself, envoy. My fate keeps me alive. Farewell.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
Let's finish this.
You show such promise. What a shame it has to end like...
And roll!
Wodeca! Queen among queens! Send me your... blade! Ethic worth and wrath!
Come one, come all! Enemy to the right.
Where are you? No! Don't abandon me now! Desperate. And roll. Go up 10. Be on seat.
I guess you were a boss. Having multiple health bars does not make you a boss.
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it.
No way that's the end.
Gods.
No way.
You're all gonna make me sick. But
Come on, let me fight that big robot thing. Why couldn't Ludwin just fucking hop on that and we just fight the big robot? No way that's the end though. That can't be. Don't you dare.
Silence falls over Paradise.
Yep, that's the end.
As though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it. The ringing of a distant bell. The waving of banners. And cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. There is an absence in your thoughts where Sapadal dwelled. Once, the god of the living lands would have flinched at this rare moment of tranquility. Instead, they are one with the silence. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the origin of the plague has been destroyed, put out of its misery, and leave it at that. Thanks to you, the living lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Paradise's rebels cannot accept your version of independence. After the assassin Egwolf died in custody, only a few of his people ally themselves with the United Settlements. To them, you will always be the oppressor. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins,
fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. As the din of battle fades and the dust settles in Paradise, Kai finds himself alone again. He longs to enjoy the camaraderie that follows a skirmish, but something is missing. The songs ring hollow in his chest, and the drink lands dry in his throat. He packs what little he has and makes for the coast. He doesn't know where he will go, only that his time in the living lands is through. There was a lifeline here, but he never quite grasped it. He will drift. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority, how to face the unknown, and how to move on from the past. But her family's unfinished work weighs heavily on her soul. Her inheritance is the burden of achieving the impossible. Such is the life of an animancer. At least now she has the right tools for the job, and new friends to help her through hard times. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Alone in your thoughts, you feel endless opportunities stretching out before you. This is the freedom Sapadal never had. You promise to cherish it. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Alright. Go ahead and skip all the way through this. Oh, one big stretch because this took me a minute. Alright. So before I give my final thoughts, I'd like to say a great big thanks to all of those that have watched this Let's Play. I probably could have taken my time with it. I know I said here and there that I would have, that I would try to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never felt the need to. Whether that was because I was playing on a lower difficulty or the side quests just not catching my attention. Or there was just no immediate reason to. I can't quite put my tongue on the answer of why I didn't cherish the game longer. Maybe that will kind of lead into my gripes and dislikes and my likes and what I enjoyed. We'll start with the bad. At times, the story felt very unengaging, and as my choices didn't really matter, I felt some things could have been handled better, specifically Ludwin. I did not like her boss fight. I did not like her as a character. I felt that she was too absent for her to be the final boss, in my opinion. I would have much preferred Sapadal or even like an avatar of Wodika to be the final boss. It felt uneventful. The story was okay. Maybe not even okay. It was pretty mediocre at best. There were a couple times during the story that I did laugh, and it did have some pretty good jokes. And apart from some of the characters like Marius and Kai, those two I didn't really jive a whole lot with. Kai was okay, but Marius, on the other hand, I don't know. Maybe if I actually did like his companion missions, he's a better character. But I can't really speak on him too much. In the regard of, from what I've seen of his overall character, all he did was complain. And all Kai did was either, "Oh, you poor thing, you're okay," or he just, I don't know, man. I didn't really like them. Yatsley, she was okay. I thought she was pretty cool. I don't really have much to say on her. She wasn't really around a whole lot, or for that long. She was around for like maybe 2 or 3 hours. Like, we just acquired her as a follower. One of those things where maybe if I did spend a little bit more time in the game, I would have enjoyed the companions. The overall system of the companions, I felt, was very shallow. They could have done a lot more with it. I would have loved to trade gear with them and maybe give them better weapons and give them uniques. One thing that I love from other RPGs is, especially from Pillars of Eternity, the first one, is that if you find a unique weapon out in the wild, you can give it to your party members. In that game, they actually let you create custom party members, which I think is wild and cool all in itself. And I don't know, I felt it was really shallow. Just a simple, small skill tree for them, and that was it. And then occasionally being able to tell them when or where to do that attack. It just, I don't know, man. Whenever they'd butt into a conversation, I'd be like, why the fuck are you talking? I felt that the voice in the head, Sapadal's voice in the head, and some of the companions' words, most of the time it felt unneeded. Or just, it was overdone. Specifically with Sapadal's voice, whenever I'd be in mid-conversation and I'm sitting there trying to, put myself into the lore, I felt myself being ripped out of it as soon as Sapadal spoke. I don't know. I didn't really jive a whole lot with that concept. So to recap kind of what I just said, the overall story is okay. It's mediocre at best, and I don't really agree with a lot of the decisions that they made regarding the companions, regarding how they handled certain story elements. It just isn't for me. Compared to previous games that I have played that Obsidian has either taken part in or made themselves, I felt it was disappointing and left a disgusting taste in my mouth. More of the bad. The weapons, specifically the uniques, they didn't feel unique. They felt like standard weapons given extra stats and then calling it a unique. Had the flaming sword that I have, aka Dawnbreaker, emitted a large ring of fire around a specified area when I killed something, or even turned undead, like made like undead enemies run away from me, that would have made that unique stand out to me, other than just a random secondary weapon that I carried. Something that I love about unique weapons is the fact that they are unique and they have a unique gimmick or quirk, whether it's situational or really good, that makes them stand out and be slightly more rememberable than your normal short sword or long sword. Fallout 4 does a really good job with some of its uniques, where you may have a weapon that shoots like 5 or 6 laser bolts in a, at the cost of 1 ammo. That's kind of unique. I mean, it's not, it's still pretty bland, but it's still better, in my opinion. Basic stat buffs from a weapon shouldn't be classified as unique, in my opinion. There should be some kind of situational gimmick or ability that only you can get from that weapon. Armor sets, they looked cool. Again, with the problem with uniques, none of the armor sets made me feel like I was wearing a unique piece of armor. I just felt like I was wearing robes, boots, and gloves, and mindlessly found myself putting rings and amulets on that provided a slightly better stat boost than not wearing it. Another bad. I played Spellcaster. I played the Wizard because I love my spells, and I love being able to mix and match different elements and spells and cause explosions. I'm a guy that loves explosions. I was very disappointed with the spells. I was also really disappointed that the spell cap stops at 20 for your skills when you can go past 20. That disappoints me. I didn't even bother to spec into any of those later game spells because the lightning spells that I was so interested in stopped at like level 15. There were no additional spells. And a lot of the time I was mindlessly throwing out those spells. You might have noticed it towards the end of the last couple episodes, that I'd get into a fight and I'd immediately do my area of effect spells because they were just that strong. I didn't feel a need to spec into a different subclass or anything like that. So I was really disappointed. And a lot of the spells, like the visual effects, are pretty cool. However, if you're going to have a spell that creates a storm cloud above and creates an area of effect of chain lightning everywhere, that cloud better look fucking menacing and not a bunch of black pixels invading the screen of which I am looking at. That was very immersion breaking. It felt like I just summoned a pixelated black mist above where I casted the spell. Yeah, no, I was disappointed with a lot of the wizard stuff. I can't speak on the ranger or the fighter stuff because I didn't really dive into that. The godlike abilities felt kind of plain and samey. I don't know, I barely used them until like the end when I needed the one that offered healing and would occasionally summon thralls for me. That was pretty cool. I feel like that's another lost opportunity where they could have added like necromancy spells instead of making it be specifically tied to a godlike ability. Or if there was like a godlike ability tree instead of, what we got, where you get it from specific story events, maybe you would get a godlike skill tree, and certain parts of the skill tree would become unlocked at different stages in the game. That would feel like a better approach, in my opinion. Overall, I enjoyed my time with the game. I will not be playing through it a second time. Before I get on to the good, I would also like to name another bad. I fortunately did not have to worry about the price of the game. I did not pay for it. I played it on Game Pass. As a casual RPG lover, for most people, don't buy it. Do not waste the $60, $70 that you will spend on this game. There is also no point in buying the Ultimate or the Deluxe editions. You get nothing from them other than alternative skins for your party members. That's not worth it. So don't do that. Don't waste your money. This is one of them games that you either acquire on Game Pass or you wait until it is like 20 bucks on either the Xbox store or Steam. Hell, even the PlayStation store. Don't do that to yourself. Wait till it's on sale. Now onto the good. The combat, the way everything jives together, combat-wise, excluding companions, felt really nice. Another bad thing, I know I said we're on to the good, but another bad thing that I just remembered. I feel like the enemy variety was lacking. Like, there was just barely enough enemy variety to cover all the different types of enemies. Also, why would there be an item called Dragon Hide if I didn't get to fight any dragons? I don't know, maybe there is in a side quest, but I feel like kind of misleading. Anyway, on to the good. The swordplay, the wizard stuff, and the bow, the way the bows, the way the weapons work, they felt really good. They didn't feel clunky. They didn't feel like a pain in the ass to use. You could actually kind of feel the oomph behind hitting things, and some of the spells were pretty cool. Some of them, and the visual effects some of them were nice to look at. They weren't abysmal. Honestly, that's kind of where the good ends. Unfortunately, a lot of the bad outweigh the good, in my opinion. I would much rather play one of Obsidian's previous entries than dive into this game a second time. Maybe that's kind of harsh, but that is my opinion, and it's as honest as it can be. If you're looking for some kind of mindless hack and slash where you make kind of okay choices, and the world building and the exploration is kind of on the back burner, yeah, maybe pick it up when it's on sale. Another good thing that I'm remembering as I'm talking about this is the level design was pretty cool. I love the parkour. The parkour made me think about where I was going and what I was doing. I think it was a nice addition to a game like this. Being able to dive underwater and find loot underwater, I think that was really cool. I enjoy that. On top of level design, if you're gonna, just a little bit of feedback, if you're going to make really good level design and parkour and stuff like that, make sure you add different enemy variants that take advantage of said parkour. A good example of this is if you're having someone run through a parkour section where you're jumping up a couple of ledges, maybe put a couple of low-end archers or plants that are on the wall that may hinder your progress to climb up. Don't make it annoying, but just add to it. There's in one of the episodes that I wonder what this game could have been had it sit in the oven a lot longer. And that's one of the things that I was thinking about. If you had just taken a little bit more time, I don't know exactly how long. I'm not a game developer or anything like that. But if you'd taken a little bit more time and you flushed out a lot of the systems that you have now, and maybe even overhauled the campaign a little bit, you may have had an almost extraordinary game. Almost. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, when I give my final thoughts, I will not be giving it a number. I'm going to try and make this a reoccurring thing where I just give my thoughts and I let you guys go from there. I will close this video out by saying I appreciate everyone that stopped by, and by any grace of God that someone from Obsidian watches this video, I'm disappointed in your group for making this game. You could have done better. I loved your Pillar of Eternity games. I loved Outer Worlds. That game felt a lot better than this. You could have done better, and I hope you do better. Just as someone that loves these types of games. Now, for my fans, or the people that watch this video, I appreciate you. I'm glad you stuck around. When Monster Hunter Wilds drops, I will be over here on Twitch, and I will be streaming it, and then I will be posting the stream to YouTube. And then after that, we have a game called Split Fiction. Me and another content creator are going to get together, and we're going to play that game together. So, if you're interested in any of that, maybe hit the sub button so you don't miss out. And if you're interested in any of my other Let's Plays, I've done all kinds. Go on my channel, there should be a playlist, a whole catalog of playlists from things that I did in 2024 and my most recent 2025 games that I've done. And without further ado, I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!